back to my channel. Today I am celebrating turning 30. That's 30 to those of you who are not even in their 20s yet. I wanted to do this video purely because it's birthday month. Everybody knows you get a whole month for your birthday. It isn't just the day, it isn't just a week. So I'm making a big song and dance about it. Obviously, naturally. Oh, I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but I have actually we've done a little rose gold on the old balayage today. It's probably not picking up very well though, because it's really light pink. But I really like it. I've wanted to do it for ages, but kind of my day job held me back from doing that sort of thing. So I'm really glad. I thought I'm just going to do a little wash and wash out for my 30th, and yeah, I'll put a couple of snaps up if it's not showing up on camera. Why a video about 30, you're probably asking? Because it's a big number and everybody seems to be running around like headless chickens, really scared of the big 30, and in actual fact, I don't feel concerned about turning 30. In fact, I welcome it with open arms. I'm quite lucky to have reached that point. So I thought I'd do a little video about turning 30, what it's like to turn 30, you know, over the last 10 years, what the differences between 20 and 30 are. I do have a bunch of questions that I have readily loaded on my phone. What does it mean to turn 30? Turning 30 is awesome. I think probably about 5 years ago I thought it was a really big deal, and I was sort of like really concerned about the idea of being 30 because it's the cool thing. Like, everybody goes around going, oh my god, I'm getting so old, when they're like 24, and they're really not. So for me, I've done a full 360 on that. I have been really looking forward to it, actually, and for what the next 10 years may bring. How do I feel about turning 30? I am not bothered, to be honest. I don't really look 30 anyway, so maybe if you are one of those unlucky people that, you know, probably look 10 years older than they actually are, then fair enough, I could understand why, but age really is just a number at the end of the day. It doesn't mean anything. Like, yeah, I know some really awesome people in their 50s and 60s that are just really cool people, so I really don't think what year you were born and what date you were born has any impact on what you can and can't do in your life. So it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I also feel kind of lucky to have made it to that age because there's so many people that don't, and you know, I had a couple of friends that have passed away over the last sort of 10 years. One was 19, one was 21, and then the most recent was 28. So it really does give you a wake-up call and make you realise that reaching that milestone is actually something to celebrate and not be afraid of. So yeah, I think definitely the most recent events in the last 6 months have probably made me look at it in a completely different way. So if you are bothered about the 30, you really shouldn't be. What are you looking forward to most? I'm really looking forward to just doing what I want to do, because I think I've spent so long over the last 10 years not always doing what I want to do, and that means in lots of different ways. That's like dyeing my hair rose gold, or going out and getting more tattoos that I want to do, or doing some work that I might want to do. Like, it has an impact on everything, and I think definitely since last summer after my wedding, I was well aware it was like 6 months left till I turned 30, and it does give you a bit of a life epiphany. You do sort of start looking through all the things that don't necessarily make you happy or don't necessarily serve you very well, and start to look at them and think, well, what can I do to change that? Who do I want to be? What do I want to spend my next 10 years of my life doing, or being, or looking like, or associating myself with? So yeah, I mean, I guess some people call it a quarter life crisis. I've heard that thrown around. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is that. For me, it's just been more about, I've got the next 10 years of my life going forward. How do I want to spend that time? What advice would you have for your 20-year-old self? Oh God, I was in a completely different place at 20. Like, so much has happened in the last 10 years. It's absolutely insane. For me, I suppose everything will work out. Like, everything will work out. Right now, at 20, Jessica at 20 will be thinking that nothing is going to work out for her. She's not going to find somebody to spend her life with. that she is going to struggle for the next 10 years. And not saying there hasn't been struggles in there, but it's definitely going to pan out for you. And I think you need to just not be afraid of that and take all the opportunities that come to you. It's a difficult question because I'm typically someone that doesn't really regret things. I don't really do regret. Like, for me, you just learn lessons. Like, just learn lessons from the things that you've done or said or whatever. But I don't feel like people should live with regret. It doesn't serve anybody. It's just a really negative emotion, and there's always a lesson to be had out of everything. Whether something worked out, whether it didn't work out, there's always a lesson you can find in there and grow from. So I don't really regret anything that I've done in my life. I just learn from it. So everything that I would say to my 20-year-old self, I suppose, do the same things. I don't think I would say don't do something, because everything that I have done has led me to where I am today. So all the decisions I've made, all the little career paths that I've decided to go down, all the experiences that I've had, the people that I've met, you know, some have been great, some have been unsavoury, but they've all kind of pushed me to where I am now. So I feel like if you take one of those things out, would I be where I am at? Probably not. What do you want to achieve in the next 10 years? I would really like to be self-sufficient. So in the last 6 months, me and my husband have set up a wedding business. My partner has gone fully self-employed as a photographer. He's fantastic. He's doing very well with that. And I've also set up my own makeup business, doing bridal and events and just stuff like that, really. So they're obviously early stages of the businesses, so they're not, my partner is fully working as a photographer, but in terms of the wedding business and everything else, it's as and when at the moment. So for me, in the next 10 years, I would like those businesses to be fully fledged, fully running, and that we're both working self-employed in our own creative little industries, and that would make me a very, very happy person. I would also like to be living more authentically me, and that might sound like a really weird thing, because I think a lot of people think that I do, but actually the last 10 years have seen me trying to conform as an actor quite a lot. And originally it was modelling, and then I sort of, you've seen this on the channel anyway, progressed into doing acting, which has been the majority of my last 10 years. And in order to do that, I've had to tone down somewhat, in terms of image, in terms of who I project as a person, you know, what kind of social circles I try to move in, and I don't really want to do that anymore, to be honest with you. It hasn't served me well. I can only really chameleon like that for a while before it really starts to impact my well-being, and that's just who I am as a person. So I've just made a real commitment to not do it, and at the end of the day, if people don't want to cast me based on a few tattoos, then find someone else. If you don't want to spend a little bit longer covering them with makeup, I mean, I have the makeup in my kit for covering tattoos, but anyway, if you don't want to spend a little bit longer doing that, that's cool with me. Cast somebody else. That is literally the point that I've got to. I think I just want to walk around in my skin and be happy living in my skin. I would also like to, I really like to study, so I know within the next 10 years I will have sat more courses of some sort. Like, that's just, I don't think I will ever not. I kind of get a kick out of earning more knowledge out of things. I have always wanted to do an astrology course. They have one in Oxford that I've always really wanted to do. So I was going to do it before I took the makeup course, but it's pretty costly to do the astrology in Oxford, as you can imagine. And it's really not going to fund anything. It's more of a personal endeavour. So I'm in a position at the moment where I just need to make businesses to earn money. Like, we want to set up our lives financially. So the astrology thing kind of took a backseat, but I would really, really, really love to study that and earn some credentials in that. What have you learned, and what advice would you give someone just turning 20? I suppose I would say not to be fearful. Like, I would tell somebody who is just turning 20, don't be afraid of being who you are, as long as you're not an arrogant arse. That's a little bit different, but as long as you're not hurting anybody, just be you, and whatever that is, go and do that, because that is what will make you happy. Try not to conform to everybody else's idea of what you should be, in loads of ways. Physically, emotionally, passions wise, career wise. Go out there and do whatever it is that you are really passionate about, and don't let anybody stand in your way, whether that's family, boyfriends, girlfriends, friendships even. Just get out there and go and do it. Don't sacrifice parts of yourself for another human being. That's a massive one. And there's loads of misconception around being in relationships that you must sacrifice oneself for love, and you shouldn't have to. That's the point. If you should be able to pursue all of the things that you love and be who you want to be without having to sacrifice parts of yourself. So if you are having to do that and you're having to do it a lot, it's not right. Just saying. Go out there and find someone who accepts you for who you are, the things that you want to be. Don't be afraid of going it alone. Don't be afraid of... I've always been a bit of a lone wolf, so I'm not afraid to just go and do shit. Or, if the path means walking it alone, fine. I'm quite comfortable with my own company. I know some people don't even want to go to another part of the country without being with somebody, or the idea of getting on a plane on their own is scary, or on a train on their own is scary. I know so many people that live like that, and it's just, there's nothing scary about it. You have to get comfortable with your own company and being with oneself, and I think if you can do that, it opens up a lot of opportunities. The classic that I mentioned earlier, so no regrets. You should take regret out of your vocabulary. It's never going to serve you well. It's just such a negative emotion, and even if something hasn't panned out as you would have liked it to, there's room for growth and learning from that. And if that thing hadn't have happened, then you may not be where you are now. So don't regret anything. Just go into everything that you do full force, 100%, throw everything you have at it, because then at least you gave your absolute best all of the time. And that's kind of what I'm like, and some people might think it's a little bit extra sometimes, but even with acting, for example, I've always thrown absolutely everything that I've got in my arsenal at it, and if it still doesn't pan out, I can accept that. I'm okay with that, because I've done everything that I possibly can that's within my power. I mean, even when I was going around and signing at conventions, I'd never done it before. It was a bit of a whim, to be honest. They didn't even work out for me. I wound up not really enjoying the process, so I actually came off my agent's list and just asked him, thank you very kindly, but it's not panning out for me. And that's just personal reasons. But even when I went down the route of doing conventions, I threw everything I had at it. I had banners made, I had posters made, stickers made, badges made. I got a little setup for my table. I went all out because I wanted to do the best version of it that I possibly could. And whether it worked out or not doesn't really matter. But at least I knew that I did what I could in the situation. I'm not a half-assed person. I'm just not. I know that I've half-assed something, that's the thing. And if I know I've half-assed it, it doesn't make me feel good. So I think it just depends on you as a person. I got the vibe from certain people that, particularly the convention thing, that they thought negatively, I will put it nicely, they thought negatively of the situation. It just tells you what their mindset is like. Because for me, if I saw someone else hustling like that, I'd be like, you're hustling. And good on you. You've never done it before. You're going out there, throwing everything you can afford to, because I had to have all that stuff made, everything you can afford to throw at it, and put all your energy into it, put your best foot forward, and nothing really returns from that. At least you gave it your best shot. And that's kind of how I think about people, but it's quite interesting to see how other people think of it. And I'll be honest, that was one of the main reasons I decided to stop doing conventions, is negative. It was a real negative atmosphere, and despite, I don't think those individuals know I know, because a lot of the time that I never let on tends to be how I play it out. I just let you do what you want to do on your own terms, and I sit back and go, okay, I get it. I get where it's going, and then I just get on with my own shit. That's just the way I roll. I don't bother getting in arguments, fights, or debates over it. I just don't have the time. So if people are being a bit malicious like that, I will know about it. Don't think that I don't. I always do. And 9 times out of 10, people find me trustworthy, so they will tell me what's being said anyway. And just because I haven't called you out on it doesn't mean I don't know. And for me, I thought it was pretty shitty, pretty backstabby, and on the whole, pretty negative. So I just thought, not doing them anymore, and I don't roll with that. For me, I just want to be surrounded by good people, positive people, uplifting people, people who want to help each other out and not actually want to drag people back down. So yeah, that's probably a bit of advice in terms of, not in terms of conventions, but in terms of what you can take from that. And I think it's very easy when you're just coming out your teens to still be involved with a lot of negative people, and there are tons of them out there that are willing to suck every last bit of life out of you. And I think you get very good as you get older at spotting it and not playing ball. And I think that's exactly what I've done. I just don't play ball at all. I let you do what you gotta do, and then I disappear. And that's how I play the game now. Thank you so much for coming by and sharing my 30th birthday with me. I absolutely love doing this. I think the biggest thing for me the last 6 months has been finding something that I can be proud of, that is something I have created myself, which is this. I'm struggling with being a puppet quite a lot, and I find as an actor it's essentially being puppeted all the time. I'm doing stuff other people want me to do, I'm saying words people want me to say, I have an image people want me to have. It's exhausting, and I'm just really enjoying being able to be out here, say what I've got to say, create content, play around with makeup loads. I'm just really enjoying that process. So I'm really glad that you're joining me back here today. Thank you so much. And please do comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I can't tell you how important that is. I am trying to improve my content all the time for you guys. I'm really super conscious about it. One last thing, I am actually starting an IGTV. I may have started by the time this video goes out. So if you are interested in seeing more content on there, please go check out my Instagram. I'll pop it down below somewhere. Come back, check out the IGTV, and I will see you next time. Bye.